what is the kind of life that you feel good about? And then also, what can you do today that will be a step towards that kind of life? That our power is in our choices and actions in each day. And it's kind of thinking, okay, what could I do today that would be a step um, in the direction, in turning up and turning towards the kind of life that I might feel good about when I look out on tomorrow. And a question I ask myself is, what can I do today that I'll be happy about tomorrow? What can I do today that will contribute to, be part of a larger story that a year from now I might look back and say, oh, I'm glad that happened. I'm glad I was part of that. And this idea of Suha moves, of each move is like a tiny contribution to an unfolding flow or unfolding story that helps you support this feeling of afterglow in the future. Now, we've actually looked at over 70 moves in the trainings we've done. And when we thought about this session, we wanted to kind of go with the idea that less is more. And less is more, but if you could take away maybe just two or three things from today. So one of the things that we're already planting is this. Wherever you are, whatever you face, just remind yourself this could go different ways. And what would be a way that I'd feel better about? And I love the kind of tactile feeling of like tracing my finger along here. I might kind of think, okay, if I was to follow, what if I was to go this way rather than that way? What would be a better way here? And Thrutopian well-being is that type of well-being that helps me make it through in one of the better ways. So what can I do to support my well-being that helps me show up well? And one of the things that we do is this idea of doing Suha little often rather than lots and lots all in one big session. How can you make it something you do little often? Maybe, even just a minute of Suha a few times a day. What might you do? And one of the things we do, we have this practice called daily practice. And I learned this from a yoga teacher, Grace, who was on one of our first Suha courses. And we had a practice that it was just daily practice, Suha practice. What is the practice that I'm going to do? Daily practice, Suha practice. What is the practice that I'm going to do? And if you, each time you go daily practice, Suha practice, what is the practice that I'm gonna do? So you're just moving from your thumb to each different fingers. And when, this idea, twiddling your thumbs, when you're not quite sure what to do, or I'm just twiddling my thumbs, but this is actually a way of constructively twiddling your thumbs. Daily practice, Suha practice. What is the practice that I'm gonna do? And when you ask yourself a question, it directs your attention a particular way. So just saying, daily practice, Suha practice, daily practice, Suha practice. What is the practice that I'm going to do? Daily practice, Suha practice. What is the practice that I'm going to do? And then you might think, well, I only know like two other practices. There's that. Okay, which way can things go a better way? A better way would be if I can remember a Suha practice. Okay, afterglow. What can I remember that I've done that I still feel happy about today? And you can choose your own time period. It could be the last 24 hours, the last week, the last month. I often say, what have I done in the last year? Because this idea of how can you help your year go well? There's the year that's starting today, but there's also the year that's just happened. And sometimes people say, oh, well, that's already happened. There's nothing you can do to change that. But you can change your recollections by reminding yourself what went well and shining a bit of a spotlight on those. If you give attention to what have you done in the last year that you're still happy about today, you actually help the year that's just happened feel like it's gone better than it might have done otherwise. Positive noticing. Linked to this move, daily practice, Suha practice. What is the practice that I'm gonna do? I've been working on a piece of music, by the way, for this, because if you can hum along to it, if it can be a bit fun, you're more likely to do it. And when you've got your mind caught in some swirl and it's winding you up or pulling you down, you just go, oh, brush it aside. Daily practice, Suha practice. What is the practice that I'm gonna do? Daily practice, Suha practice. What is the practice that I'm gonna do? Daily practice, Suha practice. What is the practice that I'm gonna do? Daily practice, Suha practice. What is the practice that I'm gonna do?
Suha practice, what is the practice I'm gonna do? Daily practice, Suha practice, what is the practice I'm going to do? Suha practice, what is the practice that I'm gonna do? Daily practice, Suha practice, what is the practice that I'm gonna do?